Hey guys, welcome to the 10th ever edition of WWMS, our live school morning announcements every Friday here on the Fairwoods YouTube channel. Today is going to be an amazing morning announcement show as we will cover some movie news and gaming news, some sports news with NBA Second Round Series officially beginning, and of course our history lesson of May 5th and Cinco de Mayo. But let's start off, as always, with our joke of the week. Why do we tell actors to break a leg? Because every play has a cast. Hope you guys got some enjoyment out of that on a wonderful Friday morning, and that may be actually the best joke we've ever had on the show. And this isn't any ordinary Friday morning for those who are keeping track. It's Cinco de Mayo! Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody who celebrates, and we have some faculty that does celebrate Cinco de Mayo. We got to talk to one of those members of the faculty, the 7th grade Spanish teacher, Mrs. Vigliotti, about the history and traditions of Cinco de Mayo. Here it is. Hey guys, I'm Chase Coburn here from Fairfield Woods Middle School, and I am joined by a very special guest, a 7th grade Spanish teacher, to talk a little bit about Cinco de Mayo, Ms. Vigliotti. Ms. Vigliotti, welcome to the show.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. So we do have a few questions for you about Cinco de Mayo. The first one is really basic. Just what is Cinco de Mayo? Just tell us a little bit about the holiday.
Well, I think first I'm going to tell you what it isn't. It is not Mexican Independence Day. Not even. Mexico had already been independent for several years. So what Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of a victory in a battle in a little town called Puebla, Mexico. And they were battling against the French. And why were the French in Mexico? Because they wanted their money back. France had loaned Mexico money for some of its, they had a civil war, they had their war for independence. And Mexico had said, and Mexico was broke as a joke, and Mexico had said, you know what? We can't pay you for 2 years. Give us 2 years to earn, save up a little centavos, and then we'll start paying you again. And France could have said yes, but France wanted Mexico's land. The King of France had big plans, even for the United States. But in any case, so France said, no, not agreeable. We're coming at you. We're coming to you. And so they came and they, invaded Mexico, and they were marching on this little town called Puebla. And, they were like, oh, these Mexicans, there's literally a letter from the French commander saying these Mexicans are inferior to us, and we will win, we will bring France glory, because at that time, France had the most powerful army in the world. And this was Mexicans, right? And so the Mexican president, Benito Juarez, had a speech, and it was a speech. And he said, all Mexicans, I don't care where you are in the fields and whatever, pick up whatever you have and come and defend your country. And they did. And they came, they did have some actual soldiers, and they had some 100-year-old cannons. But these people came, literally with machetes, with pitchforks, with, old guns, some of them no shoes. And they defeated the French. They defeated the most powerful army on the planet. Big source of pride, big source of pride. So that's why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
So now that you celebrate it, what are kind of some traditions that you have, and what kind of foods do you eat on a normal Cinco de Mayo?
Well, for Cinco de Mayo, actually some of the biggest celebrations for Cinco de Mayo are actually here in the United States, because there's a lot of Mexican Americans who live here. In Puebla, they have a lot of parades. They have shows with folkloric dances. They're going to eat pretty much what they always eat. They have, lots of arroz, lots of tortillas, things like that. They eat their normal foods. But here in the United States, it's more a little bit about, a little bit more partying, right? But there it's more about just, going to the parades and remembering just how brave those guys were. Yeah.
So my final question for you, what kind of religious aspect is that? Do you guys go to a church or a temple? What's kind of the religious part of Cinco de Mayo?
For Cinco de Mayo, not so much religious. It's very much a historical celebration. Mexico tends to be a lot Christian, a lot Catholic. So they do have churches and stuff. Some of the ancient religions are coming back because when the Spanish came in, they kind of no religion but Catholic, right? So some of the ancient, the Aztec religions, some people are starting to celebrate parts of that again and to honor parts of that again. But for Cinco de Mayo, it's more just kind of a civic celebration as opposed to religious.
All right, Ms. Vigliani, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Adding on to what she said, Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican holiday that essentially celebrates their surprising victory against France on May 5th, 1862. The holiday started to be celebrated the next year in 1863, but didn't gain nationwide popularity until the 1980s. Some traditions of the holiday include a parade and people dressing up as Mexican and French soldiers to reenact their victory in the Battle of Puebla. The most famous birthday on May 5th is Adele. Adele, who's turning 35 today, is one of the most popular English songwriters of all time, as she currently has over 55 million followers on Instagram. She got her career started as a teen when her friend posted some of her music on MySpace. She then ended up signing a recording contract in 2006, shortly after she graduated from a secondary school for performing arts. Some of her biggest songs are Easy on Me, Someone Like You, Set Fire to the Rain, and Rolling in the Deep. Happy birthday to Adele. For some movie news, Big George Foreman launched last week, and I was pretty impressed by the production. It was a very classic documentary. What I liked is the narration throughout the entire movie and how they transitioned between his childhood and his adulthood. It was a movie of one of the greatest underdog stories in sports history, and they did a great job to show how Foreman turned his life around for the better. While it wasn't my favorite movie of all time, I would recommend it. A movie that has also been getting a ton of hype is Fast and Furious 10, otherwise known as Fast X. Starring Vin Diesel and Jason Momoa, who is known for his portrayal as Aquaman, the movie is a continuation of one of the longest-lasting movie series of all time. That comes out May 19th in theaters. Now for some soccer fans, the FC Barcelona referee scandal is truly insane. FC Barca hasn't denied that they paid over $7 million to the referee Negreira. Negreira, age 77, was a referee in the Liga from 1977 to 1992 and later became the vice president of the refereeing committee in Spain. What they vehemently refute is that money was spent to seek a sporting advantage. To prove so, Joan Laporta, the president of FC Barca, who was re-elected as president in 2021, sat on stage as he spoke to journalists with folders containing what he said, which were over 600 reports and 43 CDs on referees and players that were compiled by Negreira's son, Javier Enriquez Ramiro. Laporta said they were from the time period 2014 to 2018. The club's policy of destroying documents older than 5 years meant more reports weren't available. Laporta said they were thorough, necessary, and put together by reputable people. He didn't rule out further illegal action, suggesting Barca could be owed a huge amount of compensation. For our NBA fans, so many great series are going on. One of them is the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets, and despite being the number 1 seed, Denver came into the series as an underdog to the Phoenix Suns, but have proved all of their doubters wrong. The Nuggets have taken games 1 and 2 at home. Game 1 was an 18-point win for a gritty Nugget squad as Jamal Murray handled offensive duties, finishing the game with 34 points and 9 assists. Game 2 was more of the same, with Denver winning again, but this time because of a near 40-point double-double from two-time NBA MVP Nikola Jokic. The two stars, along with Kevin Durant's 7 Game 1 turnovers and Phoenix 4 bench points in Game 2, have propelled the Nuggets to a hot start in Mile High City. Game 3 in Phoenix is tonight at 10:30 p.m. Now for some NFL news, and for those NFL fans, I only have 2 words for you: Lamar Jackson. The Ravens quarterback signed a 5-year, $260 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens earlier last week, making him the highest-paid quarterback in NFL history. Jackson has played a productive 5 years in the league thus far, generally being considered a top 10 quarterback in the league. He has had a winning record in every single year of his career and has led Baltimore to the postseason in 4 out of the 5 seasons of his career. The 2019 NFL MVP is coming off of a season where he threw for 17 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in just 12 games before suffering a season-ending knee injury in Week 13 against Denver. However, Jackson is healthy and ready to go with 3 new wide receivers in 2023. Now for our gaming news. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom comes out for Nintendo Switch on May 12th. Tears of the Kingdom is the sequel of the hit game from 2017, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild was released on March 3rd, 2017, and has made $1.2 billion. They've also sold 29 million copies since then. The game is the best-selling Legend of Zelda game in the franchise's history. Amnesia: The Bunker comes out on May 16th for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And last but not least, LEGO 2K Drive comes out on May 19th for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. We hope you guys did enjoy the 10th ever edition of WWMS, our live school morning announcements every Friday here on the Fairwoods YouTube channel. We hope you guys got some info about a variety of topics. Shout out to YouTube channels. Shout out to YouTube channels King Cherry Lemon, who recently changed his name to Mr. Chevy Gamer, and Mr. TC Gamer. Enjoy the NBA playoffs. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo. Thanks to a great behind-the-scenes crew, Parshwa Shaw, Noah Weiner, and Alexander Majeski. Signing off here from Fairwoods Middle School, I am Chase Coburn, and we'll see you next Friday.